Hey everyone, welcome back to NavMath. Today we're gonna go over Unit 6, Lesson 1. This is a day 2 of the lesson. And we're going to, so at this point, you should have already completed your launch. And I'm gonna check your launch and give feedback. It's not something that I'm gonna go over with you in the videos. And I'm doing this so that I can keep the videos short. So today's objective: calculate the missing side using area and perimeter formulas. So yesterday, or in the previous video, you learned about how to calculate perimeter and area given all of the side lengths. So today we're going to go backwards. What if I give you the perimeter? How would you find the sides? What if I give you the area? How would you find one of the sides? So usually with these type of problems, you're given at least two pieces of information for you to find the other. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Okay. While Miss Tran was playing Minecraft, she realized that she has 72 feet squared of grass to use and only have space to make her garden to be 8 feet long. What's the width of her garden? So here's a little clip of me playing Minecraft.
So here's the video of me trying to play Minecraft. So I have a total of 72 grass blocks that I can put down to make this garden, right? So I'm just kind of throwing out the grass to show you that I have this certain amount to fill the area. And after I throw out all 72, I'm going to pick them up because I need to use them. And I'm going to start by making my garden to have a length of 8. Okay. But I have a total of 72 blocks of grass. So I wonder how much grass I can use, or how wide I can make my garden so that I have a area of 72 blocks of grass.
Okay, so we have this garden, right? And I know that I have 72 feet squared of grass. So I have all this grass that I can use. But the length of my garden can only be 8 feet. So I went ahead and drew a picture on your notes for you. How do we find out how long, or how do we find out how wide this garden can be? Well, here's what we know. We know that area is equal to length times width. We know that area is equal to length times width. We know the area, that's 72, and we know the length. So I'm going to go ahead and plug those numbers into my equation. Now, I'm trying to solve for W, right? I'm trying to solve for the W. So I'm going to get rid of the 8 by dividing 8 on both sides. So 72 divided by 8 is 9. So that means that my width is 9. So our width must be 9, right? And you can check your work because 9 times 8 equals 72. Okay. So that's how you go backwards from area. How do you find the perimeter from here? Well, we already know how to do this, right? We know that this garden that we just used had a length of 8 and a width of 9. How do you find the perimeter? Pick a method and fill in the box. So what I want you to do right here is you're going to pick one of these methods to do, either method 1 or method 2. Go ahead and go back to your notes and fill this out. Once you finish filling it out on your notes, come back to the video and enter your answer now. Okay. So you should have entered your answer to how to find the perimeter. I'm not going to go over that since we already did that last class. So next. This time, so we just solved how to find unknown parts using area. This time we're solving for unknown parts using perimeter. So what happens if they give you the perimeter instead of the area? Well, while Miss Tran was playing Minecraft, she has a total of 100 feet of fencing to use around the grass. She knows that she wants her fence to be at least 12 feet long. How wide can her garden be so that she uses all of the fence? So here's a picture. I know that my fence, and the fence is the yellow box, right? The total perimeter, the total around this entire the entire field, so the total around here has to be 100. So perimeter equals 100. Okay. Well, I have an equation. Perimeter, which I'm going to write as P, equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. I know that P equals 100. I know that L equals 12. And I'm trying to solve for W again. Okay. So my first step is to multiply 2 times 12. And that's 24. Then subtract 24 on both sides. And I get 76 equals 2W. Trying to solve for W. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So W equals 38. Okay. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that if we have 100 feet of fence, we want our fence to be 12 feet long, it must be 38 feet wide for us to use all of the fence. So that means that up here, this question mark is 38. So it needs to be 38 feet wide. Okay. The next part is going to be your practice problem. For your practice problem, I want you to, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go over the first two as an example with you. You're going to do the rest. And then you're going to come back, watch the video for the next two boxes, do your work, do your Renaissance, and then turn it in. So let's get started. Minecraft Garden D has a perimeter of 32 feet. Come up with 2 different ways we can arrange the garden so that it has a perimeter of 32 units. What would its length be, and what would its width be? What is the area? The first one is done for you. You do not have to show your work, but you will not get partial credit if you're wrong. So I suggest showing your work and showing me all your steps, just like how you see it in your notes, if you want to make sure that you get full credit. So what do I know? I know that my perimeter is 32 feet. It doesn't give me the length, it doesn't give me the width, and it doesn't give me the area. So what I think is that we need to just come up with some numbers and figure and do a guess and check, right? There's multiple ways that we can add up to 32. The first way is I'm going to say that my length is 4. I want this garden to have a length of 4. So what that means is that using the perimeter, I can find the width. So perimeter equals 2L times 2W. So that means that I have 32 equals 2 times 4, because my length is 4, plus 2W. So 32 equals 8 plus 2W. 32 minus 8 equals 2 times W. So that becomes 24 equals 2W. So W equals 12. So then my width is 12 feet. Okay. So what's the area then? Well, area is length times width. So that's 4 times 12. So I have an area of 48 feet squared. Okay. That's one way that we can do it. Another way we can do this is, let's say I wanted my garden to have a length of 8. Okay. How wide would that garden have to be then to use all of the fence? Well, perimeter equals 2L plus, and let me change this up here. This should be a plus 2W plus 2 times W. The perimeter is 32. 2 times 8 equals 2 times 8 times plus 2 times W. So we have 32 equals 16 plus 2W minus 16 on both sides. So I get 16 equals 2W, which means that my width needs to be 8. So the width is 8. Area equals length times width, which means that we have 8 times 8, which is 64 feet squared. So what I want you to notice here is that even though we have the same amount of fence to go around this garden, I got way different shapes, right? I got a shape that was 4 by 12, and then I got a shape that was 8 by 8. And both gave us very different areas, right? The space inside is very different. But it gave us the same, but it used the same amount of materials around it. You're going to go ahead and come up with 2 other ways that you can use all of the fencing. Once you have come up with the 2 ways, fill it into your table and then move on to the next practice problem. So the next practice problem says that Minecraft Garden E has an area of 36 feet. Come up with 2 different ways for you to have a garden with an area of 36 feet. What could the length be? What would the width be? What would be the perimeter? Well, I know that the area is 36. And I'm going to find ways that I can multiply to add up to 36 so that it's easy for me to do. So let's say I have a length of 4. And I know that the area is 36, so area equals length times width. I know that the area is 36 and the length is 4, so I'm going to plug those into my equations. So 36 equals 4 times W. Divide both sides by 4, and I get W equals 9. So my width is 9 feet. Okay. Perimeter is P equals 2L plus 2W. P equals 2 times 4 plus 2 times 9. So that's 8 plus 18. So then perimeter equals 26 feet. Okay. Another way I can do this is I can switch the numbers. What I mean by that is I can have my width to be 4 and my length to be, I can have my length to be 9 and my width to be 4. Or I can come up with other numbers. So another way we can do this is, let's say my length is 3. I know that area equals length times width. So 36 equals 3 times W. Divide both sides by 3. So that W equals 12. This means I have a width of 12. Put this into the equation. P equals 2L plus 2W. So that's 2 times 3 plus 2 times 12. That's 6 plus 24. So I have a perimeter of 30. You're going to go ahead and fill out the next 2 green boxes. Once you have done that, you're going to do accelerated math and turn in your work.